Now, thanks to Amphibian and Lightforce, it's now time for the Ask an Expert segment. Let's cross over to Simon.
Thank you, Danny. Now, this week's Ask an Expert question has come from Ron Hill in St Andrews, New South Wales. And Ron has asked us, how should you wire up 4 100-watt driving lights on a roof rack, and what relays are needed? Well, I think our electronic guru, Alan Johnson, is the man to answer this one.
Righto, if we're going to put lights up on the roof rack, the first thing we have to check is the legality of it in your various states, because in not all places is it totally legal. Now, if you don't have them wired, it's legal, but if they're wired, you've got to check that. Anyway, to answer the question, we have 4 100-watt globes. 400 divided by 12. Now, this is the Ohm's law formula to work out how many amps you need, is about 33. There is always losses through the system, so you need to allow for bigger than that. So basically, you wouldn't go to a 33 amp relay, A, because there isn't a 33 amp relay. They come multiples of 10. You would jump up to the 40 amp relay as a minimum. You can actually buy twin relays, which actually do the whole thing in one. So they've got 2 ins and 2 outs, or you can use individual relays, but it would need to be wired through relays and need to be wired through the high beam circuit. Now, the way I would suggest we do this is we actually wire the lights in pairs. So we have the 2 inner ones and the 2 outer ones, so we can actually control what we do. The outer ones should probably space slightly outwards like that, the inner ones straight ahead to give us good penetration straight ahead up the middle of the lights. Now, to have any semblance of legality, this has to be wired to the high beam, which means when the high beam is on, the lights come on. When low beam comes onto low beam, the lights turn off automatically. That is absolutely essential. Wire size, because we're running 400 watts, which is about 40 amps, we're going to need to use 6mm 64 strand cable. Now, that is fairly heavy cable by automotive standards. And again, if we're going to have it in 2 systems, we'd need 2 runs of cable. How to get the cable up onto the roof lights is a question people ask me all the time. Not drilling holes in the roof is a really, really good idea. So there are quite often ways and means of going up through the door like we have on this thing. Quite an effective way of doing it. And if you do take the roof lights off, I have to take them off, there's no damage to your car. Now, the only other thing I can think about the roof light scenario is first, and I would say this, if you're thinking about roof lights, do lights on the front first. They're normally more effective than roof lights are. But if you've done these and you want more light again, roof lights are a great suggestion. So if you're going to go and do it, check it out, make sure you're as legal as possible and have fun.
Thank you, Alan. Great advice as always.